Background. I like the first sentence here. A neo-Nazi cult group, the Furry Raiders, is agitating the Colorado furries. They recruit members with gifts, grooming, and manipulation. Declarative statements are fun. Yay! It makes a classic appeal to people who are desperate to belong in a group. I just imagined some guy in a desert, just like clawing along, dying of dehydration. I just want to find a group I can belong to. Why is there no groups I can belong to? And then here comes Foxler, right above him, reaching down with his paw. Come with me, my son, and I shall heal thy wounds.
Holy shit. That needs to be a comic.
Hey, can you hear me? Oh boy, I can't hear you. Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. I haven't used Skype in so long, it's ridiculous. I've even forgot my password for a little bit there. Oh great, I can hear you now. I don't think you can hear me though.
Oh, you can hear me now? There you go.
Oh, fucking thank God.
I'm like, you can do this!
What the fuck? It's kind of a spontaneous moment. I wasn't expecting to talk to anyone tonight either, so on this whole thing. It's been a fucked up mess. Yeah, yeah, I don't know if you're probably busy like me, so I've been kind of on the outside myself. So this is like the first exposure I ever gotten to this whole, I guess you could say, rumors and conjecture and everything else about Furry Raiders and Rocky Mountain Furcon. I just got back from FWA, and shit, I didn't even introduce myself. Hi, I'm CraftyAndy. Nice to meet you. Oh, you said it. You confirmed it. Got him. 1,000 thoughts going into my mind, but me to say anything about it would just be making a declarative statement with no fucking ground whatsoever. You know? Because they let everybody in. They how dare they let everybody in? At least that's the impression I'm getting right now. Is that pretty much it? Yeah. Yeah, that really drove a nail in my brain a little bit to see that tweet that someone posted on the news furry site where it was, I can't wait to punch a Nazi, and someone responded in kind. It doesn't matter how they responded. They responded like, well, don't expect me not to defend myself. And apparently him suggesting that he's going to use a weapon was cheating. So that was what set them off even further. Is like, why is it okay to express violence towards someone for something that they're essentially wearing? Because let's face it, I think you and I see that, well, the Furry Raiders are not a Nazi group. I can agree with that. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's not a Nazi group. But because you have an art band, you all of a sudden want to exterminate the Jews, and blacks are inferior, and everything. Yeah, I'm turning 31 myself this year, and it's like, has the world forgotten what a real Nazi is? A real Nazi has these set traits, and there's still neo Nazis today. They're all comprised in Arkansas with the KKK or whatever, and they have their own set traits that you have to follow. If you don't follow these traits, then they don't like you very much. Right. Yeah. That, and it's also there's also that fetish side to it, that dominatrix kind of thing going on a little bit too. And it's at the end of the day, it's like, is this what Hitler envisioned? Is this what Nazis and Hitler wanted? A bunch of guys in fursuit fucking each other and drawing borderline bestiality porn and shit like that. Is this what Hitler envisioned? Really? you know?
I believe the word you're looking for is sensationalist.
Yeah.
Also, when the president's off the order unleashed to, you can access and see what all the characters are and how it was. And if you don't want to read them, it's me. Go ahead and check the room. That's one way over there.
Right. 24-year-old conviction, which is also more proof as to why there shouldn't be a registry, but that's a whole other bag of worms altogether that I'm probably going to get into myself later. Like, yeah.
There's 11-year-olds on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened to actually more than one person. There was actually a news report years ago. I remember reading a guy was walking around naked in his home like he normally does, and this mother and her son decided to cut across his lawn in the backyard, and he saw this guy standing there naked, and he's like, "Oh, look, mommy, what's that?" And her reaction was to call the cops and get him arrested. I don't know what the outcome was, but nonetheless, he got arrested for sexual indecency towards a child minor or something of that nature. Yeah. And yeah, that's on your record forever. Why won't you just do the same thing for thieves and just put them on a list too, so that, well, one day, some con member or some con a guy that runs a con can get caught up over some act of thievery he did years ago, and then when it turns out to be black, watch the SJWs implode from a paradox at that moment. Yeah. What about the well, Kier, you want to chime in? This is
So,
my other husband.
something that happened to one of my friends.
Yeah. It's like two.
When he was 18, he was with a girl that looked older than him, and because she looks older than him, he didn't think to ID her, and it turned out he was younger. So he's on the list now for playing with someone almost the same age as him who looked older. And there's nothing you can do about it. He's also on probation for it.
Yeah, because he didn't check her ID, and then the parents found out, and of course they went batshit insane. One of those
The
one of those
best part is-
technicalities.
The best part is she came on to him.
Yeah, she. Right. Well, yeah, nonetheless. So let's start with the first one I guess I have up here, which is the brony one about killing all the bronies. I assumed that was a satirical hyperbole, but apparently no, that's something you have to take at face value. And Yeah.
Pretty much, I am a Porsche nut. Okay, I have 3 of them in a Land Rover. I love Porsches. I love everything Porsche. It's my first car. And I will do everything that evolves around Porsche community, and that will include car shows and track racing. And not, it wasn't competitive racing, but just to be on the track, running around with your car, and, exploring the nuances out of motorsports. So, obviously, I'm an open furry. I've been open furry ever since I joined, and it's gotten me into some weird hot troubles everywhere,
Yeah.
including school, including life. Surprisingly, being open has allowed me to explore new venues of being with different people, and I enjoy that. So I will take the fall of the repercussions, and one of the repercussions was the meet host of for my local track at High Plains Raceway didn't like me because he thought I was a brony because I had Porsches on my dash, and he talked about furs. And at the time, and still kind of today, I don't feel that Brony and Furry are in the same boat per se, but they tread on the same water. And
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yeah, exactly.
and he kept saying, "Oh, you're a pedo. You watch the girl shows. I got annoyed by this because I'm trying to have a good time with Porsches, and sometimes I did fursuit to the tracks. It wasn't new, Sometimes I did bring up furries all the time. It's just something, when you're in love with something, you are embodiment with it. You kind of talk about it all the time. Understandable, but everybody still could get along, but he could not let go of it, and I don't know why. He never told me why. So on the forum, when he was berating me continuously for being a furry, I started with the small things. I took I thought, okay, let's take some of these Nazi fur pictures and put them on my profile and see if that triggers him, because he likes German cars.
Yeah.
That didn't do anything. And then he kept berating me. So I decided to make this post where I talk about how much I hate bronies. And I thought it would be fun to make it look kind of real by, adding all this factual information and then a story about what happened. And am I guilty or not guilty? And it was this huge thing about me wanting to,
Kill bronies.
kill bronies and hit one with my car. And the quoted line is that I think I referenced my car as a combat vehicle. If you reference a Porsche as a combat vehicle, that there's something completely wrong with the story.
Right.
The person's really fucking crazy. He's got a machine gun on fucking top of his Porsche, or he's trying to take a bite at somebody. So I was taking a bite at him, and eventually he gave up because he just realized I'm gonna flood the forum with all this nonsense until you stop fucking with me, and that's pretty much what happened. I never deleted that post. I never. I was just like, okay, we're done here. We're go back to fixing our shitty German cars that keep breaking apart now, and we'll move on. And that's the context of that issue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me lashing out in a way where socially, when in high school, when someone was like, "Ew, you're a furry, you're so sick and disgusting," and then my response, is to discuss them more because they get away from you. They don't want to continue the conversation or discussion because at that time I'm not trying to defend furry because I don't understand why people are upset about it in the first place. So my initial reaction is to always be the most vile, disgusting individual I can. And when people in high school do that to me, I'll be like, yeah, I love fucking my dog, and then they just walk away. So
right, eventually you just don't give a shit. It's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? That sort of thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of my methodology in the past, and that is why people see it this way, because I realized that people that didn't like Nazis, if I put furry in it, it's gonna be
Yeah.
So
Let me get back into this here because as it turns out, some of my audio wasn't recording. The other post I was actually wanting to get into was the other post that other people have thrown around where you have the paw print over the Nazi flag. And you're talking about how the bronies were the Jews, and they were going to be burned. How old is that post?
Is that one on the Porsche forum? I think it is.
I don't know if it's on the Porsche forum. I'm gonna see if I can actually pull it up because I gotta pull it up here.
Because then it would have been on the same context as hitting a brony. Because then it was just trying to
Right. It's like, if you hate a show, people say, lots of crazy shit about a show that they hate or a movement that I wouldn't call a movement. I'm sorry I called it a movement. A fad that they hate, like Pogs or vaping.
Oh my God, Pogs! I had a whole collection of those.
Yeah. Someone told me that vaping is the new Pogs. So that's what reminded me of it.
Oh my God, that is a classic.
Oh yeah, the other post, I imagine it was probably the same context. Like, I fucking hate the Brony show, and haha, I'm fucking Fox McCloud's Hitler, and the Bronies are the Jews, and he's gonna burn them all.
When I think about it, it's just like, wow, I can't believe I said that, like in 2012, I think. Yeah, it was.
Oh, so it was about 5 years ago. It's over half a decade ago, and it's like, maybe it's not something I'd say today, but to take it at face value. It's kind of taking it out of context and making it into something once again that it isn't.
Yeah, and if you look at it, what the fuck was Porsche thinking? And I think it was when 2012. That's when they released. Was it the Panamera? No, I don't know what car they released, but we were having a discussion about Porsche and what cars they were taking out, and somebody's like, yeah, it says right there, oh, low, wow, furry porn and Nazi stuff, because somebody brought up the furry thing again. I was kind of pissed about it. So I brought in furry porn into the mix. Yeah, I know. I put that on a forum. I was like, and he's like, well, the problem is solved. Second, of promoting your Nazi thing, and he's like, he's calling me a Nazi. So I'm sitting here like, just going, ah. So, because you know me, I. She's like, where are you going with this fool? So it's just internet bickering on a Porsche forum, on a car forum.
Right.
People. Really, what the hell are you doing? Why are you taking this and saying, "Oh, I'm an actual Nazi"?
Yeah, you're an actual Nazi that you're supposed to hate gay people, you're supposed to hate black people, but yet, you're not. You don't hate black people and you don't hate gay people. So go figure.
Oh, my mate's he's black and I fuck him. So I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, and it's the fact that it became a whole bunch of a series of unfortunate events to lead to all this, because in 2012 I was in midpoint with this whole thing because the Fursona was already created, everything was already done. I had no knowledge about Nazism. It was just a Second Life item I found. The armband looked good. I put my Fursona together and I was like, ooh, I like this. And then as time progressed, people started pointing paws at me, or fingers if you're not furry, but they started putting on these stigmas, and I was like, no. So I decided to go out and look for real neo-Nazis. So I learned very quickly when I did that. They were like, are you white? No. And they're like, what is this armband fursuit? Why are you dressed up as a fox with an armband? He's like, oh, it's furry. And then they look into it like, there's a huge gay community. You're a fucking mutt and get the fuck out of here. And that's pretty much how they treated me. And I'm just like, okay, well, you go do your thing, I do my thing.
That went as expected, right? Yeah.
Well, I learned, they have, there's pretty much, that's their box, and then furries are their box. So, as long as we don't cross ends, we have our box and they have their box.
Yeah. What was the tweet that other people keep posting here? I'm just gonna read it in full. I hate black people. I would rally for it any day. Period. If black guy was in fursuit, period, then I'm ready for some love taps. LOL. Race don't matter when you're furry. Foxler furry fandom. As a response to some other video I haven't watched yet, so.
Okay. Oh my God, there goes my mate. Hold on. I'm gonna deny his call right now. I need to know. I need to see it visually.
Oh,
to know
I can link it to you real quick here.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
I think I have a whole archive.
It's right in your brain. You just remember. I expect you to remember everything and every detail that ever happened in your life and everything you've done. All right.
Okay, so this was in 2015. Okay, so I got a date on here. So June of 2013, 2015. So I was getting a commission of my Fursona. and I was getting the ref sheet. I was like, okay, we're gonna make a fursuit. This is gonna be the day. After a decade and a half, I didn't want a fursuit, but now there's apparently fursuits coming in the mix, and I need to have a ref sheet. So in around that time in July, I commissioned an artist, and I gave them the specifications. And when they realized there was an armband involved, they lost their shit. Huh. It was and they had $150 of my money, and I said, okay, are you gonna draw or
money?
or you're not gonna draw? And they're like, I'm not gonna do anything for you. I'm just like, well, can I get my refund? They're like, no.
What?
And I'm like, what? And then they linked me this video about the KKK, which is this one right here. So YouTube reply. And I watch it. I'm like, this is not me. And they're like, no, it is. And so I said, I responded by making this comment where I said, I hate black people because, apparently they were black, the artist. I'm not 100% sure, but apparently I offended them by having my ref sheet this way. And so I decided to put all that. So it was more of a defense tactic once again to be like, well, fuck you. Watch the video. I told her, watch the video again and fuck you. And they got even more pissed. They're like, oh, see, I was right. Oh, my God. And then they're just giving me this 40 fucking paragraph about how horrible I am. I'm just like, whatever. And yeah, and what I was trying to do is because I was trying to also state, because I'm not, that furry doesn't matter. Furry doesn't have race tied to it. Right. We don't care that you're white, black, yellow. I'm mixed Thai and German. So it's like, I don't care. I don't get turned on because you're a human. I get turned on because you're in a fursuit and you look cute. That's why I get turned on about that. So I have no interest in your human shit. So that's what I was trying to kind of convey, and I know it was poorly worded, and I am kind of bad at that. I'm actually really bad at that. I'm still the 5th grade level of that, but it doesn't stop me from doing my job. So it's like, why should I invest more time in this right now? But right. I'm kind of working on it, trying to get better at what I'm saying. And I know it looked kind of weird because I didn't put a whole description. I just said what came to mind. Oh shit, I hate black people because I'm trying to piss this person off. And then I'm thinking, well, if a guy was in a black fursuit. Excuse me. If a black guy was in a fursuit, and then I don't have a problem with that. And that's in my case with my mate. He is that is, and I wasn't married to him yet at this time, but that is the kind of paradox that I got myself into. Now I'm actually with a black guy that has a fursuit, and we yiff all the time, but we never yiff outside suits.
You give him some love taps though. Yeah. Give him some love taps, or I should say love pokes.
Well, he was subby, and for a while I was giving him love taps, and then I said, well, he's like, well, I never mounted anybody. I'm like, what? And you know what's weird? You want to throw the card in another complete paradigm of all this is that when I first joined the fandom 17 years ago, I was anti-gay, and I didn't want any gay shit. I was straight. I wanted breast, boobs, whatever. I wanted female fur. Right. And I'm still kind of like that today because I'm kind of, if some people ask what my sexuality is, it's Foxler. Not bi or anything like that, because the fact is I want someone to, if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, I prefer them to be furry. I prefer them to have a canine persona. And if you're male, I prefer you to have a fursuit. Right. So those are the three things, and that doesn't really fall in any sexual category. It's just.
What do you mean? What do you mean by anti-gay exactly? Just it was like, ew, dick, get it out of here, kind of thing.
Yeah, ew, dick, get the fuck out. I don't want this dick persona. Well, at the time, I don't want this dick art in my face, and then, 5 years later, it's like, ooh,
right,
not. I could probably.
But to elaborate on, I guess anti-gay would just be like, you don't hate gay people and want to see them burn, and don't want them to have their rights or anything like that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. No, the elaborate anti-gay to me was I don't want dick in my mouth. But everybody in the fandom wants to put dick in their mouth, so it's like.
see, like right there. There's something like Wall Street Journal might take out of context. Like, oh shit, he said he was anti-gay in the past. That means he hated gay people and didn't want them to have their rights and shit like that. It's like, no, what he meant by that was he didn't like the dick until he found the dick, and then he found out he liked the dick.
Well,
Kinda
yeah,
like
and,
me.
and if people take that in context, and then I'm putting dick in me, or putting my dick in someone else like that, it's like, wait, what? How does this correlate? It doesn't make sense. So,
Right.
yeah, it's a lot of out of context stuff, and the way I see, because I was like 15 at the time.
Right.
When I see anti-gay, it's not.
And you're again,
political.
I forgot, I even missed that part. You're 15 at the time, and I guess to share some of my perspective on it, I was 19 and I was voting against gay marriage, and I was straight. Like, I wasn't fucking bashing anyone. Thankfully, I don't have to live that down, but I grew a little more as the years went by and religion fell on the wayside. I'm like, wow, religion's bullshit. Christianity's bullshit. This is all bullshit. And why do gay people not deserve their rights? This doesn't make any sense. There's no logical sense as to why they don't deserve the rights. So, I evolved in that area. Should that be held against me, 10 years later when I'm 30 now because of some thought process I had that was drilled into me for 18 years of my life growing up in my family's home, in a Christian home? Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not supposed to, because you evolve, you change. It's about what you're doing now. It's what the actions you're taking now. Am I actually going out protesting against black people? No. Am I going around Heiliing everybody and saying death to the Jews? No, I'm not. I am just sitting here trying to be my persona, the persona that I hold to me to death. That's the connection. I'm a kind of the lifestylist, very actually I am, but it's.
And then there's this one that didn't make any sense to me, because they said, like, I'm linking it to you. They said the Furry Raiders group on FA was made on Hitler's birthday, but I looked at it and it said January. Hitler's birthday's in April. I'm not sure what they were getting at there.
Wait, what?
In case anyone had any doubts, Furry Raiders are Nazis. Their birthday on their FA page is Adolf Hitler's. Acceptance my ass, get fucked. Hashtag.
And I tell you, well, okay, so so this was in 2016. So during the creation of the group in the real world, not Second Life part of it.
Yeah.
When me and the founders and everybody just kind of grouping around, sitting in the room, talking about stupid shit, and cracking Nazi jokes because of the fact that people are taking shit out of context.
Yeah, everyone's a Nazi now.
Yeah, we were like, hey, we should make it Adolf Hitler's birthday to see if anybody says anything. Yeah, it took them a year to find to look that one up, but that was my reply. It was like, you took 1,610 view pages for someone to do the math on that.
Wow.
It was just.
And it's not and again, it's not like some deliberate attempt to hide the quote unquote fact that you're a Nazi group and you want to bring in Nazi propaganda into the fandom to either clean it up or destroy it or whatever. It's another satire, basically, to say, like, oh yeah, let's poke more fun at the people that say that we're fucking Nazis a little more, right? I mean, am I right in that? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, we do it all the time. I mean, as in a group, we poke at everything, and we poke at, now it's like the crab people are now a fucking thing we're poking at,
Crab people?
The autistic crab people, the screeching, people that go up. Oh, it's what we see on the internet. We look at YouTube videos, we see all these problems, and we just poke fun at it for fun, because if you want to have an everyday conversation, you need something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the time, we were talking about how much people were calling me a Nazi, and it was just like, haha, let's just do that for fun. And now we changed it to 777 now is the age, and the reason why we changed it to 777, I think it was because of the devil 777.
Yeah.
I thought it would.
Well, no one cares if you're a Satanist anymore, so.
We were just coming up with all the random shit. I don't even know what numbers we could. I mean.
Right.
I'd rather put Affinity there and just say good. And then we can claim that the Furry Raiders will last forever. But no, whatever.
Yeah.
So that is why everything is completely construed, why RMFC is in like 20 fucking different directions of information. And, you know, when it really comes down to, like with RMFC, it's the one pie of the puzzle was taxes. The other pie was the fact that everybody wanted to boycott it. The second pie was that people were saying we're going to punch Nazis, and by doing so, tagged Marriott into it. And then Marriott went, nope, 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 nope. We're going to change policy across the board. You need to have security now. And then Khan's like, I don't have money.
Well, yeah, and it's like fuck it at that point. These people want to. Wow. So basically, them threatening violence and trying to start up a stir caused the hotel to react accordingly and say, nope, we're getting threats about your convention being hosted here, so now you need to hire private security. Otherwise, we're gonna cancel the contract or something of that nature, right?
Right, and well, they wanted more insurance liability too. The point is, you think about it. A hotel is a business. We have this property. People are going to be in it, and we want to make sure that we're not paying anything out of pocket for it.
And just to reiterate, because I don't know if the audio got recorded in this part, but yeah, I love that Twitter post where you had there was that exchange. Where is that exchange? I saved it in my folder here. Hold on, I'm just going to pull it up here. Bear with me for a second here. I can do it. I can do it.
Well, I think the simple answer. I mean, I know you said you were doing a video, but the simple answer is that the fandom went full retard.
Never go full retard.
Never go full retard. Well, it just did. Shit.
Oh, you said retarded. Oh, God,
damn.
Ableist.
Hey, what? Hey, what?
Ableist.
Okay, this is what started it. This is what started.
Let me get through it here. So yeah, so basically Dio says, I can't wait to punch these Nazis, and then someone basically responds with, you know, I'm okay, well, don't expect me to not defend myself. And, you know, don't be surprised if you get shot by someone for, you know, defending themselves. And then apparently that was the bad thing to do, was just to talk about bringing weapons, because, you know, starting a fist fight is okay, but if you start involving weapons, that's cheating, and that's not okay. It's okay to threaten to punch people for ideologies they may or may not even have, or because they dress up funny to you.
So and I love how Dog Press, I was just skimming through his article and his replies, and he said, oh, it's okay because, you know, we villainify Nazis in cartoons. So this was just, you know, a joke, a humorous joke. No,
so was like, yeah, your posts were all humorous jokes and whatever. God damn.
Fuck, yeah, so really break it down. Oh, yeah, at Furry Raiders, a bunch of Nazi motherfuckers too. Reminder. And then somebody goes in with saying, can't wait to punch these Nazis. So they're inferring they want to punch Furry Raiders because we're hashtagged in there. I mean, we're tagged in there. And the fact that they're saying, oh, yeah, Furry Raiders are Nazis. So that's what you're implying. So the response by somebody that's not a Furry Raider, watching you get shot by someone defending it. So watching you get shot by someone defending themselves, like me, from unprovoked assault would be far more entertaining. So everybody's going to take this out of context, but okay, I'm holding an airsoft. You punched me. Shoot. Okay, it makes perfect sense.
Self-defense. Technically, you could shoot them in some states and get away, and, you know, you'd be fine with that too. In
Colorado, that would be, and would I shoot somebody? Probably not. No. But the point is that don't punch me. Seriously, you think I'm gonna be nice and be like, oh, you hurt me? Well, actually, that might be more. Well, I don't know which one would be better. Would it be better to shoot the person or let them punch me and then get their money for causing harm to me?
Well, that's the thing. It's like nothing deflates your stance and argument by just making a declarative statement that you're just going to inflict violence on people that you disagree with, because it's, first of all, it's ironic because SJWs, like these people punching so-called Nazis, let me get that straight, punching so-called Nazis is ironic because when black people marched for their rights and they're getting shot with fire hoses and getting the dogs sicked on them, what did that do? Did that solidify segregation? Did that solidify the idea that the white race was superior? No, it created sympathizers. It made people realize that, hey, these guys are the victim. They're getting a fucking raw deal here. I know that's nowhere. I know civil rights is nowhere comparative to whatever the fuck it goes on in the furry world at all. but it's still. The analogy is true, is that when you start punching people without fucking reason, all you do is create a victim, and people are going to look at that guy like, why did that guy get punched? Oh, that's a stupid fucking reason. What an asshole. What an asshole for him to come up and
then if you say that openly, they're going to be like, no, you're sympathizing with Nazis. You're bad.
Yeah. God.
So this guy, after he made the post, he poked at me saying, oh, look what they said. But, I don't know him, and I would say that his point is valid. And in my stance, if somebody did that to me, I would take two of those roads. If the violence is going to hurt me to my life, yeah, I probably would shoot him. So that means if they're running a punch and they got an axe in their hand or they got a gun as well, that might be valid. If they're punching me just because they can, and I'm in Fursuit hotel, I'm probably going to push him back, put him to the ground, and then I'm going to call the police, and then I'm going to have this huge spear with them, have evidence. I'm going to go to court and I say, you caused damage to me. I need my monies. Right. That's how I'd play that. But then, sure, hope you're not suggesting someone should bring a gun to the convention. Well, wait a minute. There's no talk about convention.
Or bringing guns to it, That's not really the point in that response. The point is, like, if you attack me, I'm going to defend myself. And because he mentioned shot, that automatically means he's going to bring a gun to an event and start shooting up a hotel.
So this is the tactic play, because now you're trying to put somebody in a position where they're not thinking about their next response, which it happily did. Sure, hope you're not planning on attacking innocent folks. I fully support legal concealed carry. So now he's putting his position, and then they're like, "Oh, you may support CCP, but conventions do not." Now that, like, what convention are we talking? What the fuck? This is just a Twitter argument. Take it at that. But right. Fucking deodorant. I'm gonna call Tasmanian Taz Devil deodorant. Now, because that's the nickname that person has gotten. Deodorant decided to go take this screenshot, put it on the Twitter, and say, oh, look, the furry raiders are going to bring guns to con. And then Hotel sees that, and then they see the punching and all that. They're like, nope.
Yeah. Well, while we're at it, might as well just go to the Dog Press article. I'm going to pull that up right now because, there is a lot of Fox Newsery going on there, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I can tell you Dog Press has continuously fucking talk shit about me for like the longest time.
Right. So
I'm like, whatever. Go get your rocks off and look like some flashy gay dude, because I'd rather just have a simple furry in front of me. I'm not. Your flashiness does not excite me. Sorry.
The Neil. Okay. Yeah. Just so you keep up here, I'm just linking to it again.
Yeah, link it to me. I'm not going to even go look at Dog Press half the time. Why would I want to go to that?
I'm a little more concerned about, that Donald Trump launched a bunch of missiles at Syria and is now moving ships towards North Korea. That's a little more that's kind of a concern that I have right now that I'm focusing on a little more too. But yeah, let's go right into this thing. A background. I like the first sentence here. A neo-Nazi cult group, the Furry Raiders, is agitating the Colorado furries. They recruit members with gifts, grooming, and manipulation. Declarative statements are fun. Yay! It makes a classic appeal to people who are desperate to belong in a group. I just imagine some guy in a desert, just like clawing along, dying of dehydration. I just want to find a group I can belong to. Why is there no groups I can belong to? And then here comes Foxler, right above him, reaching down with his paw. Come with me, my son, and I shall heal thy wounds.
Holy shit. That needs to be a comic. No.
Go ahead and make it, just say special thanks to Crafty for the inspiration. I don't care.
I know. It would be
That would be
It'd be
hilarious.
just-
Someone needs to make that comic. Whoever's watching this, whoever's listening to it, make a comic because I don't have the time right now. God
Wait,
damn.
are we live stream right now?
No, we're not living. No, I'm
like,
recording.
holy shit. Well,
I'm not gonna do that to you without knowledge.
I'm like, damn.
Well, surprise! We've been live streaming for the past hour.
Oh shit, damn.
No, this
Well, at least
isn't going to be a John Tron Destiny incident. I promise you that.
Yeah. Well, I think I just wanted to say, even if you were live streaming, at least it's Foxler uncensored.
Yeah.
Again. So.
So what the fuck is he even trying to say? Like, you recruit members with gifts, grooming, and manipulation. Like, if you don't join our group, you're part of the problem, and or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how you manipulate someone to joining the Furry Raiders group. When I look at the FAQ and it's basically, I have to pull it up to get down the words, but it's basically vanilla stuff. Everyone's welcome. We don't care who you are. You can join.
Right.
If you want to order some merchandise, here's some merchandise you can order. Where's the grooming part? Where's the manipulation part? Where's the, I guess you could say, citation needed at this point? And then my brain stops.
I can explain that.
Yeah.
Because, we love taking shit out of context. So, I'm going to grab a quick little drink here because, I've been having, fucking Denver 7 channel news is at my house today. For Christ.
What?
Yes.
What was that about?
We're in the news on mainstream Denver news right now, so.
You or the Furry Raiders?
RMFC, Furry Raiders, neo-Nazi, sex offenders, and everything else you can plug into that.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Holy
And they wanted an
shit.
interview, and I said I don't have time for that today.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Interviewing with the media, as we know how well the mainstream media takes things these days, right?
Yeah.
They'll find they'll probably take like an hour recording of you, find like one sentence that you said, use that as part of the coverage, and then call it a day,
Absolutely, they probably would too. So, I'm not super thrilled. I was like, I don't have time for this. You can go pick somewhere else. So this is the issue. This is the reason why people are thinking that, I'm grooming people, is because the fact that about 60% of my income that I make goes into Furry Raiders and events and just being kind of like generally kind in general. Our first event was Zootopia private screening, and I bought out the theater, 135 seats, all free. Come watch Zootopia with us, because I want to see Zootopia, and I want all furries to see Zootopia. You know why? Because Zootopia is like the Marxist of... Not Marxist. But that might be the wrong word. I don't know what Marxist actually means. So, but...
I don't know offhand. I would have to look it up and look into it because I know Marxism is a term thrown around a lot.
I would say that it is the pinnacle. It is the holy grail of the fandom vision. So
ever since Robin Hood, we finally have a new one now. And Lion King, a new decent movie that is furry and that we can all get behind now.
So I paid $3,000 to host the event out of my pocket. Nobody needed to do anything. Come and see it. And it had like 118 people there.
Nice.
And that's the first day I wore the fursuit with our band. Well, that was the first time Foxler was ever public with the fandom as a whole like that. And at first, everything was super great. Next day, they were like, oh my God, I hugged a Nazi. I feel so violated. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, that would be my response too. It was like, huh? I'm not a Nazi. How can I be a Nazi when I'm a fucking furry that goes to the furry conventions? And it all falls apart from there.
Exactly. So as I continue putting more money into Raiders, providing free rooms for my guests and stuff at RMSC, they feel that spending this money as a whole is grooming people because, I have it. Well, there's nothing wrong with how I use my money. If I want to use it to give people free rooms because I care, I want them to be at RMSC.
Yeah, unless you're giving your money to...
ISIS,
the family, the ISIS or the Family Research Council, you can pretty much do with your money whatever you please. And I should take that back a little bit, but yeah, as long as your money's not going towards to hurting people, then yeah, who the fuck cares?
But no, it makes people want to join the group because they get free shit. Well, that doesn't always apply because you need to be here locally to do that, and not everybody's local. And two, I have limits. Okay, I can't give perfect example. We had Posit Pro, this little meet that my mate hosts. He's been hosting it for years before he even became major to me and got put into shit.
Yeah.
And I decided, everybody was trying to boycott his meet. They were trying to hate on him and get nobody to go. But we still had 35 people that came. And we all had dinner or lunch at Reuben's. And I said to myself, I looked at the menu and I said, oh, $5 milkshakes. And then I got up, I grabbed my glass, hit it with the fork, and I said, attention, everybody. Milkshakes are all on us. And then... And it was just kind of appreciation. Thank you for coming and have some ice cream, because, ice cream is great for after a long walk across, a mall in Fursuit.
Right.
So, and then apparently that's grooming, apparently that's, what did they say? Fuck no. So
grooming, offering gifts, and
yeah, that's a gift, manipulation.
I'm not sure where the manipulation comes from, but I guess that ties into gifts and grooming essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes my brain hurts on this. I've had similar experience on a smaller scale. There's some furries that are, and I'm going to get into something a little bit after this, but yeah, there's some furries that people didn't like because of how they looked. Like, oh, they look creepy and they smell weird, and here I am making friends with them, and how dare you make friends with them? They look weird. Why do you do that? What's wrong with you? And then rumors start spreading about me and my friends, and shit like that happens. It's kind of sad, and it's kind of ironic that I think you and me can both agree that mostly furries are a group of people that have experienced a lot of bullying in their lives, like early on in their childhood, growing up and stuff. I think that's a fair statement. And it's a little ironic and sad to see them grow up to be bullies themselves and then fail to realize it when they're not being bullies. Making declarative statements about people with heavy words that carry a lot of weight to them I should say labels that carry a lot of weight on them still. Nazi, racist, homophobe, transphobe, and to the point where the meaning is no longer there. It doesn't mean anything if everyone that disagrees with your ideology is that thing. It doesn't mean anything if they're all a Nazi if they disagree with you. All that means is that you're a fucking religion, and that anyone that doesn't follow your religion to a T is now a heretic. And that's the equivalence I see here when it comes to this mentality that a lot of people are gaining steam on right now.
Right. Actually, I totally agree with that, because if you look at it, we're pretty much in a reset button mode right now. I personally don't have a problem with any of these labels. Because there's history or things attached to it, it doesn't, to me, it's not the significance in my life. It is not, it doesn't hold weight. Furry holds a lot of weight. That word, holds a shitload of weight. But everything else, Nazism, homophobic, these are just words that we throw around to justify certain actions or definitions. And I don't want...
Or defamations in some cases. Let's go attack their job. Let's get them fired. And it's also funny that you see the people that disagree with them. I don't see... I'm sure it's happened, but I don't see a lot of people that disagree with the SJW rhetoric that, attacking people's jobs and harassing them directly. And
well, I think what I'm trying to say is really quick is that we're on the reset button here, because I don't feel that it's necessary that people should bash the whole history of Nazism. I don't believe they should be treating people that are from Germany like this, because they do. And that they're taking the swastika out of context, because not everybody uses the swastika the same way. My mom is Thai, and she doesn't practice Buddhism anymore, but they use that symbol. So you're sitting there, you're not understanding that you have to be kind of diverse to process some of this information and put it into a way where you say, okay, well, I'm not going to let it have a problem.
I'm not going to let it weigh me down, essentially, too.
You're right.
Yeah. It's that goes right into the idea of privilege. Like, the idea of privilege is that because you are this, there's certain things you don't have to deal with. That's all it fucking meant to begin with. It doesn't mean that you owe people who suffered in the past that have long since passed themselves, some kind of compensation, so to speak. Whatever my ancestors did, I'm not fucking responsible for what my ancestors did. You can't do the sins of the father thing on me. I'm sorry. And technically, because I'm bisexual, that means I should be a victim class myself. But, like you said earlier with labels, I don't let it weigh me down. I don't blame my problems. Well, it's because I'm bisexual, isn't it? This happened. I have to face this. Or, it's because I'm furry that I have to face this problem. And this is why my life sucks. It's because I'm furry and people hate me. It's a victim culture.
Furry. I'm proud of it. I'm furry at work, in a sense. I'm furry everywhere, and I will continue doing that because I know that's who I am, and I have the right to do that. That is it. And if people disagree with that, that's totally fine. If you don't like me, great. We'll figure it out what legal stance there is at that point.
Yeah.
Me existing wherever I am.
Right, and I'm not gonna like someone because I'm not gonna say I hate someone I don't know because of some fucking Twitter posts that are probably a decade old. Just like the same thing that happened with 2. Like I looked at this. I made a video about 2, and I looked at his page, and it's like, wow, this shit is like half a decade old, and most of this doesn't even mean like the stuff that you want it to mean.
I'm just, and I know I've known 2 a little bit too. I've watched his videos since, a decade, half ago, and he's always just put comedy and laughter into the concept that these laughter is a good way to get over some problems.
Yeah.
And there were furry problems back then. There were problems trying to be furry. There was problems about other furries getting along with the whole mythical creature thing about what you do at cons and stuff.
Right.
And he puts laughter in that and gets you over it. It gets you like, okay, well, my day is done now. I got my laugh for the day, and now I can go move on. But oh no, that's not good enough.
Yeah, I can only imagine, as much of a bigger public figure you are in this, is that how many unprovoked messages you got that are just like outright insults from people you don't even know. Has that happened at all?
Okay, so depending on my Twitter timeline here, there's been 3 incidences of that, actually 4 at this current moment, of that occurring. And first one is when RMFC accidentally mentioned purposely mentioned our name when the room blocks that we bought up. Yeah. It was 25 rooms.
Oh yeah, the room block incident. Yeah, that whole thing that was resolved, like you actually talked to the other guys that were trying to block the room. You're like, oh, okay, sorry about that. Let's work something out. And then everyone on the outside decided to get offended for them, and then blow that out of proportion. Is that pretty much?
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what happened.
They were concerned. They didn't understand why I had so many rooms outside the block.
Yeah.
And we knew I knew there was a shortage, and I wanted to make sure I had rooms in for all the guests that I planned on.
Yeah.
So, what's the smart thing to do? Go get rooms.
Right.
Holy shit. And I did that, and then they're like, okay, what's the problem? And we were exchanging emails, and then Soren, the director, was just like, I didn't get a chance to actually continue the conversation because, it was like a day or 2 wait. Mm-hmm. Not everything is instant reply, Soren.
Right.
So he makes a statement saying, oh my God, the Furry Raiders is the one that booked all the rooms, and they're not going to release them. And I'm like, we haven't even talked about it yet. There was no formal meeting. You just sent me an email saying release the rooms. That's all he said.
Assumptions make an ass out of everybody, as the saying goes.
Yeah, so he's pretty much just sent me an email saying release all the rooms right now. And I didn't respond to it yet because I was talking to everybody else what we should do. And then he makes that statement, and then we contact Kuki because we knew Kuki. I'm like, Kuki, what the fuck is he saying? We never even had a meeting yet. And then we have a meeting, we release some rooms, and then they they backtracked, they corrected their statement and said, "Oh, we've resolved it."
Yeah.
And then the furries were like, "No,
No, it's not. No. It will forever be remembered in our history books, along with the CSI episode and the Tyra Banks episode. We will never let it go. Never let it go."
Right. So they blew it up, and I got so many comments like, "Fuck you, die, you're a scum," and they started bringing up all the history.
But very well thought out.
Yeah. And then, name calling like usual, and then the second explosion is when the same day, it was kind of odd. I went to the Milo Indianapolis event here in Boulder, CU, and I like Milo because he's like Two Griffin. He'll poke at everything, even though he's trying to, put you in a direction. I don't really, I don't agree with all of it.
Right, yeah, like that's another, that was another thing I want to touch on. Yeah, before you get into it too, is that the whole Milo Yiannopoulos thing. I'm saying his name wrong. I know.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so that was you at the con. I wasn't sure who that picture. I had a picture of it, but I don't know where it went right now. But so that was you at that convention or gathering, and Milo said some things I totally disagree with, and I don't fully. I can probably pull some things out of my memory banks eventually, but yeah. So I didn't agree with him fully on a lot of things, and kind of a prick, whatever. And I just feel a need for everything that happened to him, that has happened to him, with him losing his book deal, and them getting to the drunken peasants and taking the interview that emerged out of the ether. I don't know if you watched the drunken peasants at all. Have you heard of them?
No, I haven't heard, but I know at the interview that they took that one little fucking 10 seconds.
Oh, they were fucking pissed about that. First of all, they didn't even mention there was the Drunken Peasants podcast, and then they took that interview out of context to rail against Milo and work against him, and just demonstrated how much power the mainstream media still has to just defame people for nothing because they don't like them or they just want a story. And let's get into that. So you're at the Milo event, and that was the next explosion you said?
Well, yeah. So what happened? I was at the Milo event, and I went there, and obviously I knew the armband was a problem, but I really wanted to test this. I really want to get deep and dirty into this, and I knew there was going to be protests there.
You got some balls, man. You got some balls. I don't think I would even do that myself.
And there's a video of me being in the protest. I was like, even so, my $5,000 fursuit, I'm walking straight head in there, and I stand there. All the people are protesting, and they just look at me, and they're just like, "What the fuck is this?" and then I'm just like, and I come up there, and I raise my paw in front of everybody, and I say, "Power to the fur, power to the fur." I keep screaming like 4 or 5 times, and while they're saying, they're just screaming some, Black Lives Matter bullshit. I don't know what they were actually saying, and then nobody looked at me. I'm just like, well then, me, Armband, Fox, screaming power to furries, nobody gives a shit. And nobody did. People start taking pictures with me saying, "Oh, that's a cool suit," and all that. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting mace. I'm sitting there like standing next to this guy who says punch a Nazi, and I'm like, "You're not punching me." Well, I didn't say it to him, but I was like in my head, I'm like, "You're not punching me. I was expecting this." Fuck.
So they didn't assume by your armband that you were a Nazi.
Well, they didn't care. They just thought it was just like this guy's just doing his thing.
Right.
So I go in to go see the show, and I was going to be part of the Milo's event. Back in November, I contacted him. I said, what would it be nice to have this controversial figure? And he agreed to it. The event coordinators were like totally cool with the idea. And then the last day, the day before the event, Boulder PD said no face coverings, and that included my suit. So I could not be in the event anymore. So I had my head off when I decided to walk towards the event, because once I got into this like closed off section, the head had to come off. So the head came off, and Fox News 31, Denver Fox, got a shot of me from the side with my armband for 10 seconds, and they aired it on television. next day, RMFC flipped the fuck out and said, "We're banning the armband." And then everybody was like, because they're like, "We saw you. You see, you're an alt-right. We knew it. We knew it." So,
so yeah, I mean, yeah, what it takes to be alt-right is to not agree with the SJWs. What it takes to be an SJW is to not agree fully with the alt-right. You know, you can't
Right.
win either way. It's all absolutes. That's all we deal in now is absolutes.
you know, your dick's not is all the way in or all the way out. It ain't in the middle. No. So, so that's what happened there. People blew up, and then now RMFC being canceled, another big explosion. But it's not that bad right now. I mean, this is the most mild I've seen it, and I think I see it. It's mild because the fact that
people are leaving anyways, kind of from what you told me.
No, because deodorant is claiming that she single-handedly killed the con. So she's taking gratitude out of this. So everybody's going that way now.
Oh, jeez.
But still, because of the stigma of the furry raiders and the local community, they're also blaming us because they're like, well, you know,
Yeah.
because they provoked our friends to punch them.
Oh,
They're bad.
yeah, because you know, from what I've seen so far, you know, I don't see any posts about the furry raiders declaring a statement like, you know, you as their leader declaring like, yeah, we're gonna go to our IMFC and we're gonna clean up the fandom of all the bronies, or we're gonna clean up the fandom of all the XYZs. We're gonna do this. We're gonna fucking assault them. I don't. When did that statement come out exactly? You know. What point is that it didn't. It didn't happen, and all of a sudden people are like, "Oh, these guys are coming here. Yeah, let's fucking punch them." You know, I can't wait to punch those Nazis. And then the hotel gets wind of it, and then they demand increased security. And then, like we mentioned earlier, the tax issue, and then it all falls apart from there. And really, if anyone's to blame, I guess you could say it is because of the fucking cry bullies.
Yeah, like Stu said, they're just I mean, I could say that my existence helped with that, but I don't think I am in the wrong to exist.
Right.
As my persona. So I will not. I will say I'm sorry, but it's you know, that's about all you're gonna get out of me out of that one. No more. You're gonna. I'm sorry, but they're gonna say, "Well, are you gonna take the armband off?" I'm like, nope.
Yeah, because I'm in a position too of you know, yeah, okay, so two sets that cry bullies were the ones that helped end the con essentially. So like I wasn't just gonna just jump on the bandwagon on that side either and just like they fucking ruined the con and not have anything up my sleeve to describe how they ruined the con, basically. And so yeah, as I did more and more research and reading up on things and everything else, the furry raiders kept coming up. Furry raiders kept coming up again and again and again and again. I was like, so what's this about? So I have to look into this a little more. And then I saw all these posts. I'm like, oh my god, it's a shit show. It's a shit show in the sense that all these people are taking things out of context, and you know, the furry raiders are in the position that they have to either defend themselves in kind or just laugh about it. It's like, oh yeah, sure, that's what we are. Yeah, go for it.
Our position right now, we're actually staying quiet right now. We're just like, you know, this really doesn't involve us. We're not the ones that did anything. And you
have no decisions in it. You're not in a position to make decisions about it. What happens to the con?
And you know, there's a couple furries. You've seen the punching animation one, haven't you? And me, the supposable me getting punched.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, so first one. This is the first art piece ever got produced showing me getting punched, and obviously the artist says, "Oh, it's not Foxler. It's my personal character." But it's pretty obvious the target.
Oh yeah. I'm just fun.
And she modified it because I reported it to FA and said, yeah, that's my character. And FA took it down, and then she changed it a little bit and said, oh, it's my character. It's a generic fox. Well, a generic fox is a Corsac fox? No, a generic fox is a red fox. What the? Your head on screwed straight. So that was the first one that caused a little bit of issues. And then the second one...
because you hate gay people, that's right. Nah, she asked... whatever.
Yeah, you're probably like, oh, she lives here in Colorado. All I have to say is that she is just in another planet. There is no way in hell I can fathom the retardation that she has to put on a daily basis about me, and because she always has a problem with me. So, and then the second one, that's the punching animation that the hotel also got.
The hotel got? Like, did these people send this information to the hotel directly, or did the hotel pick up on it? I can't imagine they picked up on it on their own.
No, people sent it to them.
Yeah, I figured that.
So you see the animation, and she says that's my new character, Fox Hitler. I'm like,
oh my god. And so they sent this to the hotel to accomplish what? They thought that they were going to just get you guys kicked out entirely, or what?
No, somebody on the outside, I don't know who it was. I'm not got that much information where it, but
yeah,
somebody tagged or sent it to the Marriott Hotel, and they saw that, and they're like, oh, it's related to this convention, and was like, nope.
Yeah.
Plus, with the gun threat on top of that, it was just
the quote-unquote gun threat. Yeah. Let's be straight about that. It was
quote-unquote gun threat.
Yeah.
So, and you would think, here's the thing I'm really bothered by this. Not by the fact that I'm being punched. By the fact that furries are going against their little moral code about their
acceptance
people's persona.
Yeah.
No, their personas.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
Artists don't go commissioning somebody else's persona because
people get easily hurt by it, and they feel disrespectful.
Yeah, disrespectful, and we were good about keeping that up for the longest time. But then I show up, and it's okay to take my persona out of complete context and do whatever you want with it. That's free game. That's totally fine because I'm a Nazi, and I just like, wow, that's a dick. That's what pisses me off the most, because they preached one thing. And now they're doing another.
Shit, if your fucking drawing or persona has like the same pose or has like a similar proportion as another persona, fuck, you're gonna get so much shit and accusations out there already as it is, and it's hilarious to watch that shit because I think it's kind of pathetic myself to see that have like, oh, that was obviously traced. It looks like my character. How dare you? You stole it.
And for the longest time, furries would abide by that. But now they don't care. And I'm like, well, then why should I care? Why should I give you the luxury of me giving you respect when you can't do it? Because like furries are now coming to us because we go to local events, we take pictures, we do video, and we post that shit on our page. And now they're like, take down our photo because we have intellectual rights to our fursuit. I'm like, I say very slowly, no.
No, I can do whatever I want with your fursuit. I paid money for it. It's not your character, it's my character. If I want to write a book about that character, you're not all of a sudden going to get money out of me because you made the fucking costume. No, thank you. We didn't make that contract.
Yeah, exactly. And you're in public, and I'm taking a picture of you. I have the right. And they're saying you're disrespecting us. You're not Yeah, let's look at what you've done to me over the last couple of years. Why do you think I'm not going to be as nice about it anymore because you constantly berate me with all this shit, and why should I take down a picture that I'm not legally have to?
Yeah.
And I told them, if you have a problem, contact Twitter, contact these people, get your copyright paper filled out, and then we'll talk. Then I can
more of a trademark at this point too. Shit. You have to get a trademark filed because then that's about as far as they would have to go, is use thousands of dollars to get a trademark and say like, nope, every image of this character you use you owe me money or whatever. That's how far they would have to take it to even try to get any kind of legal ground on it, and no one's gonna do that. I don't.
Nobody will. No, Furry. I'd be amazed if somebody pulled that off. But I am totally just upset with the fact that. I came into this fandom, I came into it with the idea that everybody was welcomed, that we were all find a way to get along, and that we would respect each other in these boundaries that we've already set. No, we'll just blow that all fucking out of water, and it's our way or the highway. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, fine, I can play the same fucking game too. And that's kind of what it's turned into. And I have to admit that, at this point, my stance is, as long as I'm not breaking the law, and if I'm not doing anything against policy, Foxler will exist the way he is.
Definitely.
and nobody has control of that. But they're like, no, we're gonna get you kicked from this place, this con, all that. I'm like, sure, you can get me kicked from a con. Doesn't mean I can't be in the hotel space. You know, that's still public space. And they're
Right.
like,
Which reserve one of the non-block rooms, you know. All right, 1 second. I'll be.
I am gonna go. I don't know where this came from. Someone sent it to me, but it is actually the official statement of why Armacy complete fail.
Oh.
Well, not from Armacy directly. It's from the It's the McAfee board. It is one of the directors of the McAfee board. For actual evidence, but it does pretty much sum up what happened, which is not very far from what I knew.
You got a link?
I am looking for the actual link, so I just have a screen. Somebody sent me the screenshots, and I know it's coming from FA, so I'm going to his FA right now and see if he post. He's the man, and that was 3 hours ago, a half hour ago. No, 3 hours ago. So yeah, main threats of violence actually came from Deo Taz Devil Twitter feed, along with volumes of hate speech, lies, slander, defamation, and against the entire group of people of our fellow Colorado furries. This was investigated by Denver police, who did inform the convention hotel that the threats of violence are credible, and security was recommended to guard against the threats of violence that cost in excess of $22,000.
Holy shit. That sounds about right.
This was to be forced off-duty police personnel, which was at the hotel. What the hotel demanded. This is far more than a single security guard. If I'm reading this correctly, the community of violence is the different lies from Devil's Twitter feed. So, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, a bunch of wannabe heroes, taking a bold stance against Nazis. Made a bunch of threatening remarks. Hotel picked up on it naturally, and there's the end of the con because they're not going to afford fucking private security on top of their.
And you know what that means? Any con can be treated in the same way. So this is going to be a trend that's going to probably continue on. And
I can imagine. Go right ahead, douchebag. I want to see you fucking try. Go ahead. I hope you fucking beat my ass. Go for it. I'm going to be there. See you there. Because most people don't have the balls to do anything. Like,
oh yeah, I know they're not.
Has anyone really come up to you in person? Like any furries really come up to you in person, just like giving you just like outright shit, like just like fucking outright. I'm gonna fucking.
Nope. Not one furry yet. I'm just saying that it's not just. I'm not worried about just. Actually, I'm not really worried about. I'm going to tell you right now. My focus when I made that conversation was I'm not worried about other guests, other furries. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I can get through that because I don't feel the furries have a lot of balls. There's very few that do, and the ones that do have balls are pretty sensible people who are not going to do stupid stuff. But it's about the convention itself. It's about the staff. It's about the organization and BLFC, the hotel. That's where this whole arm of seat thing could reoccur immediately as I walk through that door and Grand Sierra Resort Hotel sees me and then the con sees me and then holy shit.
And then some dumbass furries, start making rumors and posting it on Twitter and forwarding to the hotel, like, get these Nazis out of here. We're going to punch them or, we're going to beat them up. And then it's like, what the fuck? And then the hotel staff, like, because outside the furry bubble, no one knows what the fuck is going on. No one knows what the fuck is going on here. And outside of this little furry bubble, these people are going to be like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this about? Why is there people threatening other people? And why they're saying there's Nazis here and that there's white supremacists here? What the fuck are these people even talking about? And
then what happens if I'm just trying to say that this could be a repeat incident.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It builds up to a repeat incident again. Like, whoa. And then they go to the cons. Like, what is this about? What is this? If this continues, next time we're gonna have to require you to have like security here because we don't want to be liable for any injuries to our guests.
I mean, if the hotel was really, if the threat was credible,
mm-hmm.
then they could be like. They could midday shut down the convention completely.
Oh yeah, and they would be responsible for paying their convention fee. Still, they wouldn't get that money back. They would be responsible for the full fucking bill. Even if it was just the first day, they'd be like, no, you got this block reserved, that you're responsible for it. Pay up.
So I mean, this is gonna be this is some hot water. Now the question is, can furries actually behave?
Right. Hey, can we all just get along? Yeah. I'm sorry, it's a cliche, but really, can we all just get along? I think about that interview I did with Uncle Kage, where at the end he starts stating that, whether you're atheist, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, straight, gay, doesn't matter. Everyone just sees another furry here.
If you go to a furry convention, you will see black people, you'll see white people, you'll see Asian people, you'll see Arabic people, you will see Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Christians, atheists. You will see rich people, you'll see poor people, you see young, old, an amazing mixture of people. And when we are here, nobody sees any of those differences. We come here and all we see is another furry.
And isn't that what we should be striving for? Because the ideology of actual Nazis and homophobes doesn't fucking fit in the one ideology that furries are and that furries have, is that, everyone's welcomed. Everyone can come here. That doesn't fit well with them. It does not fit in that spectrum, you could say. Before I start rambling, it just doesn't fit. And that's what it needs to come back to, really. That's the only thing that needs to happen. And all of a sudden, and for this to be blown out of proportion, it's just fucking nauseating and inducing brain aneurysms as we speak right now. I don't think anyone even know outside of your circle who the furry raiders are if people didn't even get so butthurt over a fucking armband. Because that's what it all comes back down to. It all comes full circle. This furry wore an armband, and it kind of looks Nazi-ish. He must be a full-blown Nazi.
If you really want to get into logistics, that's exactly where this all started. 2 years later, Akon is down, and the fandom is on critical life support.
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much wraps things up here, because I can't think of anything else to talk about, really. Oh man.
How was your day? No.
Yeah.